The Square Ball Podcast.
Well, hello to you. Welcome to the show. The latest Square Ball update, Parade Watch.
Is that what we're calling it?
Let's call it that.
Wow. Is it still sponsored by Levi Solicitors?
Can be, can't it?
Only thing I need to know about.
Yep.
It is. Right. Good.
The parade went very close to where Levi Solicitors' office is in Leeds, didn't it, yesterday?
I assume it was left untouched because of the respect our listeners have for it as a business.
Yes.
And they probably want 10% off.
Their legal fees on their full range of services, levisolicitors.co.uk/the square ball for that. Is that right?
That's right, yeah.
Good. Anything to add or?
No, I'll do for now.
No.
I'll do for now.
Good. So it's Dan, it's Michael and Dean on the show that you can find on YouTube. It's in your podcast app. Hello to you. All right. I'm still a bit croaky. This is more down to, it's not tiredness anymore. Slept beautifully last night. I don't know about you. Deep, peaceful sleep.
I wouldn't say it was peaceful.
Is that because you had a skinful of beer yesterday, Michael?
Correct, yeah. I had some weird dreams. I had a bad stomach. I had a bad head. It was not a nice night's sleep for me, but I enjoyed myself enormously. So whatever.
Yeah. I think my croakiness is from all the pyro smoke.
Yeah,
it's just absolutely everything stinks of pyro.
I mean, we'll talk about this extensively today, I'm sure, but I love the people who just went early with the pyro as well. Like, I think the bus is coming. Yeah. And just stood there with it. It's like still 40 minutes.
Just so many little moments and highlights. And, you know, social media can very much be a force for bad at times in the world. But, dear God, I'm so glad everyone's got camera phones for things like this. Just capturing all these different little moments and angles. You know, Daniel Farker on the bus, I think he was complaining he had a problem with his sinuses.
Yes, hay fever.
Yeah, the pollen in the air was problematic while he was DJing.
His name got my Beckonaise.
Yeah.
I could do with a little toot of it.
Just a little, toot. just to clear things out.
What do you call it? A toot of Beckonaise?
Of course you do, yeah.
I mean, all the Ampadu. I mean, to anybody who went full Ampadu yesterday, wow.
Who'd have thought that Ampadu would have saved his best performance of the season for the fucking parade?
Been great on it.
Unbelievable scenes.
You're not going to believe this, by the way. And I swear to God, I cannot believe this has just happened, right? It's 11:32 that this email has just arrived. We started the show 5 minutes ago from Michael Bell, who's just sent a picture in. As I work with a suspected broken rib and an astonishing hangover, I found this on my phone from yesterday, lads. Not a single recollection, but flying the flag. Outside Levi Solicitors. I'm not kidding. It's just arrived.
I can see it. Superb.
I found this on my phone. Tells a story, doesn't it?
And he's got
trying to piece the day back together. I was there. Oh God.
And he's got a lovely little.
I can't believe that's just happened.
He's got a lovely Leeds flag, but in his right hand is probably one of the offending articles. It's a beer.
Yeah,
fair enough.
It's a beer.
Has anyone else? You mentioned pyro. I feel like only this morning have I got the smell out of my nostrils.
Yeah.
Like I was laying in bed and I was just like...
See, I can smell it somewhere.
I smell like someone's up doing party poppers in front of right under my nose. Is that, but like turned up to 11, isn't it, the smell?
Clinging onto your nose hair.
Yeah.
If it goes on for any longer, maybe go to A&E. It might be a stroke.
No, I think it has cleared up now. But, you know, I was like smelling myself going, is it on my clothes or is it in my head now, that smell?
What a way to end this last couple of weeks it's been. Honestly. Do you know what today feels a little bit like? I don't know if you agree with me. Because this kind of kicked off 2 weeks ago, and it's been Monday to Monday to Monday, today feels like the day at the end of the best holiday ever where you've got to go back to the airport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because it is sunny outside, but it needs to come to an end for the sake of everybody's health and safety and well-being.
It's one of those things, isn't it? You're like, well, what now?
Yeah.
I can't be the end of it. I'm not ready for it to be the end of it.
Yeah, and then you have to get on a plane home and you're back in civilian life.
Play another game. Have another parade. Do something. Have an end of season quiz, something to taper me out here. Come on.
Well, we'll play the clip when we do, because we're going to do some propaganda later in the week, aren't we? Of the hot mics. I mean, those hot mics on the LUTV thing have got people into bother overnight. It's Ethan Ampadu captured at the very, very end of the parade saying, turn the bus around, just because he didn't want it to be over. And you saw the social picture that he published before he went out into town, saying it was the best day of his life when he was laid on the pitch.
You could tell it was so many of their, so many of those players will never, ever, ever forget that. I don't think anyone on any of those buses would forget it. I won't forget it. And I was part of what the council are calling 150,000 strong crowd. It was more than 150,000.
I want to say well done to the council for the clear-up job afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely immaculate. Looked like your arsehole after you'd had it bleached, Michael.
Really?
Yeah,
As good as that?
Yeah.
Is yours paved?
Cost a few quid. But I don't mind. Sometimes it's worth spending the money.
But to have that, to have it cleared up so soon afterwards. But you're lying about that. At least, how many people are in the world? 8 billion.
Something like that.
There were 9.5 billion in Leeds City Centre yesterday.
Wow.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody.
I think the really nice thing with seeing Ampadu doing this was he's been incredibly professional all season. He's been playing the captain role immaculately after we've beaten, they're not quite wrapped up the title, but we're on the verge of it, aren't we? And after that game is like, it's not over yet. There's still another game to go. We obviously need the Sheffield United Burnley game to go. After that, still a title to be won. It's not over yet. It is over now, and we've seen what's happened. The handbrake off.
I was thinking this. I said on a show, I think it was last week, about Harry Gray being our kind of conduit on the pitch. You know, he's our
he's our boy.
He's our representative as a 16-year-old, just having the time of his bastard life.
Yeah.
But it took it to all new levels yesterday for Ethan Ampadu there. Like Michael says, he's been so professional. He's been the captain that you want in the dressing room. Messaging's been great. And then all of a sudden yesterday, he woke up and chose vibes.
Yeah. Vibes and violence.
Vibes, violence. Oh, my God. Imagine, right? You're a 24-year-old who is at the peak of his existence, and somebody gives you loads of booze, a microphone, and 200,000 plus people. What are you going to do? You're going to do what Ethan Ampadu does?
Yeah.
And I just think it is so brilliant. I hope he doesn't get into any trouble for any of the things that happen, because it's just, that's what we want to see. When people say these are scenes we don't want to see when there's people slapping each other in football games and stuff. Yeah, we do. And yes, we do. We want to see Ethan Ampadu.
It was the best.
Having the time of his fucking life.
It was just full stream of consciousness stuff for him, wasn't it? Just on the mic, just when he shouted at Nando's that he wants a burger of some sort.
Sunset Burger, he was
Sunset
after.
Burger, that was it. Yeah. But just about then he's going, someone needs to take this mic off me.
Knowing you're just getting yourself in trouble.
Knowing it's going too bad, it's going wrong, but you think, it's fine.
Fuck it, no matter.
I don't think anyone's on recording this or anything.
The Sunset Burger one was brilliant as well, because what he wanted over there, he went, Sunset Burger, get me a Sunset Burger. But then you saw just a little bit of who Ethan is himself. He went, please, and then walked off. Never forgot your manners, Ethan. Good for you.
Oh, man, what a day.
What is a Sunset Burger? I feel like we should work
It's,
this.
It's one of the posh chicken burgers.
Yeah, it's an elite order. Don't worry about Ethan. He's got good taste.
You'll balk at the price because you don't like paying.
2 chicken thighs.
Yeah. I think you can have a breast instead.
Potentially. Why is that what you have?
It depends if you like a breast, man, don't it, Michael?
Jesus Christ.
Sorry.
Melting cheddar cheese, smoky red pepper chutney with lettuce and mayo in a bolo de caco, which I think is bread.
Some bread, yeah.
Yeah, it's bread. It's bread.
Yeah, but wasn't he just super value for all of it?
The edited highlight. Who was it who put the edited highlights together?
It's one of the Leeds sort of fan packages. But
LUFC clips,
right?
And then someone else took it and spread it.
But yeah,
right, okay. But yeah,
the 5 minute, waking up with the beer fit. You know, you wake up with a bit. Oh, like, oh my God, what did I say last night?
At least he knows.
Yeah, it's all there. It's all. It's
like the worst thing, isn't it? Because generally you think that and you go, probably no one remembers.
Yeah,
but actually, you just wake up to your phone. 8,000 notifications and being tagged, and you're like, ooh. You
trick yourself into thinking, well, everybody else was probably in the same state that I was, which is not a million miles away from true, like you say. And you think, I've probably got away with it. But I hope I didn't call my boss a character or anything like that.
Don't you think he would have had more? But
it was all recorded.
Or he might have had more regret if he woke up this morning and all he'd said on the mic was, the job's not done yet. We've got to finish 17th in the Premier League. Like to have just taken that experience with both hands and ran with it, sprinted with it. Good for you, man. I don't think he's got anything to regret personally.
No,
not at all.
And also, you could just sit and fuck you.
Yeah,
it's fine, isn't it?
They're off the clock, aren't they? Surely.
Yeah, I mean, God, can you remember when you used to get over your hangovers in your 20s very, very easily? No,
always struggled.
Oh yeah,
yeah. It's always taken me a long while to
a weak man.
Very much so.
You always paint yourself as like a sickly Victorian child.
It's not far from the truth. Not far from the truth. Yeah. Difficult.
Yeah. Do you know what was really, really nice? It was nice just to see them all being human. All being human. It's so easy to dehumanize footballers when they're on the pitch, and there's just enough distance between you, isn't there?
Yeah.
Because they're carrying all your hopes and dreams.
The last couple of weeks,
just the same as a bunch of young lads having the time of their lives with us in the city. I mean, that's one thing I will say. The bond between City and football club and players and manager as well it's there forever now. That it's cast in stone.
It's weird. Earlier in the season and last season as well, when it looked like we were going up at various points, I think we were always of the opinion that this will be really good, but it's something that needs to happen. And you described it as transactional, and maybe it won't be quite the party we would have had under Bielsa. But I just don't think that was the case yesterday.
I think the lack of party under Bielsa made yesterday better. I was thinking about this in the car on the way in, right? And do you agree with me? I don't think anything's ever going to match the Bielsa promotion for depth of feeling, but the experience was shit because we were all locked down, and the depth of feeling was actually made stronger because of the weirdness of COVID at the time. So it's sort of cast it into its own realm, if you like. You can't ever compare anything to it because it was during lockdown, but nothing's ever going to match the experience of this one. Even if the depth of feeling isn't quite as deep, it still runs very deep. But this was an experience of a lifetime. And I said to you guys, like, all I want at the end of this, and I've checked, Swansea was 38 days ago, by the way. 38 days ago that Swansea happened. And I was fearing the very worst, and desperately didn't want them to do that. Because, as I said to you at the time, all I want at the end of this is a nice day with my mates. They've taken that. They haven't given me one nice day. They've given me more than a fortnight of this, and there's no signs of the feeling stopping. So I'm so grateful for what they've given me, but on a personal level, it's just, I think it's been the best experience of a Leeds United support in life over a sustained period, I think.
Yeah, I'd say so. The Bielsa stuff's interesting because I feel like it was nice to see, like, Strauch was wearing his 2 medals, wasn't he? And there was a lot of Bielsa stuff around. Like, I dug out of my wardrobe my Leeds Carajo sweatshirt because I thought, what would I have? Weirdly in my head, I thought, what would I have probably worn last time? And it's like almost there's a little nod to it. You kind of want a bit of that, but then it's also for these lads too. And it was a great day. And I feel like the bonds we've got with them now it feels very different than it did, 18 months ago or whatever, when we were just finding our way with this group of players. And the additions this year as well have been ace. Like seeing Tanaka looking horrendously shy the whole way around and being forced to occasionally lift a trophy or do something. Just that stuff like that was just great.
Seeing Ramazani looking horrendously shy.
Oh yeah,
all the way through.
Such a timid boy.
Such a bashful little lad.
A real wallflower.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I couldn't help but think that, like, as it all unfolded yesterday, and I went home, and then because when we were in it, because we were on spread out across Ball Lane, weren't we? So. It first rolled into City Square, but then we were about maybe 100 yards further on to the right, basically between the station and Trinity, which we'll come on to as something funny happened that didn't it, just before the parade started that we'll come on to in a bit. So we were on there, and then you were just a little bit further on.
I was by Mackey's on the corner.
Yeah.
That bit.
We were in it, so you didn't get a full sense of the scale of it, so it was amazing to go home and like just watch it all again and just see the sheer volume of people doing stupid things.
Some didn't all end brilliantly. That
no, get well soon to anybody who's been hospitalised.
I was by a guy who the guy fell off the tree and the tree snapped. He was like swinging on it in Millennium Square, and it hit the floor hard.
Right.
So that wasn't good. He's in hospital. I think there were fears it was for the worst, to be honest, when it first happened.
Right, bloody hell.
But he's in hospital. He's not in a good state, to be honest. He sounds like he's got a lot of broken bones and he's bleeding his brain and stuff. So just all the best to him, because it was in some ways you saw the way everyone was carrying on, and you're like, it was always going to happen. But you
obviously don't want it to. Yeah,
who hasn't done something stupid?
Yeah,
I think we're all probably now of an age and all with children where you just see people doing stuff and you go, don't do that.
Yeah, we were saying that. We were like,
that scaffolding is not. Yeah. He's not meant to hold that many people. Get that. That's a shop canopy. That's not meant to hold people. That's to deflect rain. Get down off there.
We were saying that, weren't we? There was a guy in front of us scaling a lamppost. Just be careful up there, young man. Yeah, you be careful up there.
Yeah, you end up flipping into that mode, don't you? Just looking around, going, no, please.
Well,
no.
There was one guy, because we double dipped, didn't we, Dean? We watched it on Ball Lane, and then we were right by the junction with Albion Street. So we went up Albion Street with a lot of other people as well, and then watched it come past on.
That's what I did as well, basically.
On the hedgerow, because it did basically a big inverse letter C, didn't it? The parade through the centre of Leeds. So if you caught it near the start, you could then walk up and catch it near the end again. Maybe we're double counting everybody in Leeds. I don't know. But as we walked up, there was a guy shimmying up a lamppost. Have you ever seen those things that attach signs to lampposts? They're almost like metal strips that they tighten at the back. And there were 2 around this sign, and there were 2 signs on top of one another. So basically 4 metal strips for him to kind of sort of shimmy up this lamppost to get onto the sort of main meat of it above. And you could see the metal strips were slipping down, couldn't you, as he was putting his full body weight onto.
They're meant to hold the weight of a small metal sign.
Yeah.
Not a person.
Not a human man.
I breathed a sigh of relief because I thought, oh, he's coming down. But no, he shimmied down slightly just to get his phone from his mate to then take some pictures. And then he started playing silly buggers as well. And there was a bit of jutty out. I think it probably hangs like adverts for City Varieties or something. He started doing chin-ups on it. I was like, bro, come on, man.
Yeah.
I was literally there going, excuse me, young man. Just maybe don't think of the children. Come on now.
And what used to be the old Halifax building on the Hedgerow as well has got it's like a stone canopy all the way around.
That's what I was stood opposite.
Yeah. Well, you see, some people I think were getting on round the back.
Yeah.
And then kind of, because it's lower down at street level, and then walking round it. But on the corner, there was like a break in the canopy. And then there was a sort of, it looks like either a plastic perspex or maybe even glass thing, like an arched back bridge sort of thing to bridge the gap between the two, to obviously to cover customers walking into the shop from rain, except it was being used as a get from point A to point B by Leeds fans. And there's a point where everyone was going, as people were shimmying up it, going, ooh, hey, for every person who successfully made it across.
There was quite a lot of young men making the journey across Danger Bridge from one stone platform to the. But then there was one dude who was probably around about our age, and he was properly tanked up. He drunk very deep from the well. People were shouting "Fat Gallagher" at him, if you remember. Yeah. Fat Gallagher. And I was a bit worried about him because I thought if he goes,
was he the one who crawled across?
Yeah, he crawled across like a lame lion, just but he made it.
God, he did. What a day! So yeah, where we were, right? It's because they're doing a new entranceway to Leeds City Station at the minute, so you can't go down. There's going to be a stairway down towards City Square, but it's all fenced off at the minute. So when you come out of the station, you've got to turn right and head down that bridge past Lane's Espresso and Friends of Ham is there. And you come out by the corner of Trinity. So you've got like Hotel Chocolat on the corner, isn't it? A couple of pubs on this side. So that was the single sort of junction, the intersection where everybody was coming out of the station. And we perched ourselves on that junction, and it got busier and busier and busier. Then as people kept flooding out of the station. But I think we got into position about, 12:15, something like that?
Yeah, maybe even coming up to 12:30, but we had a little bit of space at the time, but we were stood in the middle of the road, weren't we? Thinking they're going to maybe try and clear this, but they eventually didn't, and the bus came 10 feet away from us.
Yeah, it was like a snowplow inching its way through human snow. But the funniest thing, when people started, as it got busier and busier, people coming out of the station, being confronted by this crowd of people, and it was I remember, because I checked the time, it was 1:45, parade about to start at 1:00 and hit City Square. And there was 5 like horrified looking women who were inching through the crowd, weren't they? Mm-hmm. And where were they going, Dean?
They were going shopping.
Yeah, there were some people just crossing the road, didn't we? Who clearly were not there for the parade.
But it gets better, Michael, right? They'd come on a special day out from Hull for shopping at Trinity in Leeds, and they'd chosen that day.
Oh dear.
She was like, we booked our train tickets ages ago.
No one told us about this.
Oh God.
I really felt for them though. They were probably multi-generational. I think there was a grandma and a mum, daughters, but the grandma was on crutches, 2 crutches. So I tried to like shout. I thought I'd do a good deed. Tried to shout, "Come on, guys, let's just see if we can get these lasses through. Let these lasses through." And then I swiped her crutches as she went past me. I didn't really. Come on.
Deliberately, because she's from Hull.
Yeah.
All prick. Yeah, well, so actually, people getting there on trains, I would like to just say to the train network, well done as well for putting warnings on the websites saying these trains are going to be really busy, but not putting on any extra trains, no additional carriages, just going, that's not going to work.
Maybe we could do an extensive piece now on the rolling stock available to Northern trains.
They knew about it. It's bank holiday. It's not even busy. The trains were knackered.
Yeah.
Like, I got on at Ponty and I managed to get on, but quite a few people didn't. And then it went through like Glasshout and no one gets on. Cass, no one gets on. Woodlesford, no one gets on. Platforms full of people just looking at full trains going, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
We're not getting on here then. And people like obviously immediately getting on the phone trying to organise taxis and buses and like trying to find other ways of getting there. But yeah, it was kind of annoying to me that they knew this was going to happen and still didn't address it.
I think the whole of the West Yorkshire network was a bit like that, because I got on at Appley Bridge at, I think it was 11:15, and the whole platform was just full of Leeds fans.
I've never seen Ponty Station busy.
And even
like
so my train would have originated in I'm going to say Bradford, so it would have gone Bradford to Shipley. Must have picked up quite a few in Shipley because there's a lot of Leeds fans knocking around there. And then and with each passing station, Appley Bridge, we then got to standing room only at Appley Bridge, and then it got to Kirkstall Forge, and that platform wasn't completely full, but it was pretty busy, and we got into that sort of sardines situation, of which I think we managed to accommodate accommodate 3 separate push chairs or prams I was stood in the vestibule right by the door, kind of just holding onto to a handle, and then we were full, and then this family sort of dashed up because they couldn't get on anywhere else with the push chair. I was like, there's not really any, and we managed to do it.
There you go.
Managed to do it.
It was quite a sight, though. We were stood outside, and then we went into Friends of Ham for a quick beer, and the hordes of Leeds fans every second just coming out of the station, heading down towards the parade. Everyone full of joy, everyone wearing yellow. Yellow's the promotion colour, isn't it?
Doesn't sell, though, does it? Doesn't sell.
Doesn't sell yellow.
No.
Not at all. My missus says that she reckons that with all the bucket hats and stuff, we all look like Minions, and Daniel Farker looks like Gru, if you've seen Despicable Me. But just to see all of those people coming down, just full of joy, it just felt like it just felt like another wonderful day. And you said a little while ago, Dan, that it's been these last 3 Mondays. I think this joy for me started at the Preston game when we were winning and concurrently Sheffield United were losing. I think from that moment, however long that ago was, a month ago.
At least a year.
Well, emotionally speaking, for that amount of time, it's just been great vibes all the way through. And I'm going to mirror what you said before, Dan. This is comfortably my most joyous, favourite period of being a football fan in my life. And I'm sure there'll be a lot of listeners who think the same.
Yeah. But anyone kind of even vaguely young, this is it.
Yeah, tick it off.
Because they weren't there for, none of us were there for Bielsa, not properly. I know there were things kicking off in town and stuff, even though it's not strictly allowed. I know some people did do that, but it was nothing of the scale of this, was it?
No.
It wasn't the same involvement of the players and all that sort of stuff.
It's just fucking pandemonium, and I loved it. I loved it. Like I say, all I wanted was just one day where we could either be in Ellen Road or we could just be promoted and we'd all just go bananas and go, wow, we've got a memory for life. And it feels like you say, it feels like rolling back to the close of that Preston game. You're right, Dean. Yeah. Maybe it was the clocks going forward. I don't know. We got that important point on the road at Luton after the clocks went forward. Clocks went forward after Swansea. Maybe we needed British summertime to click into gear.
There you go. Yeah.
That's when we function best.
Well, we are
a lot of seasonal affective disorder in the squad.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah. But yeah, you're right. Preston is when it started, and then that rolled into Oxford, and then that rolled into Stoke, which rolled into Bristol, which rolled into Plymouth. I mean, like, we got a bit of joy that started with the close of that Preston game, and it's just been compounded game after game after game right through to the end of the season. To score the winner, to win the title in injury time in the final game of the season is a gift.
Yeah.
I've not really thought about that.
It's been the best of all worlds to a degree, because it's been, in some ways, the last couple of weeks has actually been quite relaxing, because promotion was always the thing. Great. That was all boxed off ages ago, it feels like. But then just going to Plymouth and winning easily wouldn't have felt as good, would it?
No, it wouldn't. You're right.
Turning up and winning 3-0, score after 20 minutes, another one just after half time. It's a great party atmosphere in the ground and everything, and everyone's sort of patting each other on the back already. But it's not quite.
That's what happened with Stoke.
They just gave us that extra little bit going, look, we're just going to wait. There's not been as much late drama as we were probably imagining with this, the way the promotion was panning out, because Sheffield United had fallen off so badly. So just as a special treat, we're going to not score till injury time of the final game.
And that's it, because we had the procession against Stoke, which was such an alien feeling. So it's like, this doesn't happen. We don't just go and score 6.
If you were to storyline this, right? I'm an actor, so I'm thinking about it as a story.
There we go.
Come on, listen.
I mentioned this for a couple of weeks.
And so,
where's your film, Dino? It's on YouTube. Yep.
Yeah, it's good.
Sober movie.
Sober movie. It's doing really well. But then if you think about the Stoke game, right? So much pressure on that game. We just cruise through them, and the atmosphere in the stadium, people don't really know what to do, and attention turns almost by half time to the game later. The game later goes in our favour with basically no jeopardy in it. We have that party. And then we go, right, we're going to have this big celebration in Ellen Road the next week against Bristol. 4-0. We trounced them. We just roll through them. It was
off the back of having a bit of jeopardy reintroduced by Burnley beating QPR, I should add, as well. So actually the title is then slightly out of reach. You need to step up again. Yeah.
And then so that storyline is unfolding. And then you go to Plymouth. They're relegated. There's nothing to play for them, really, unless they beat us, 16-0. They go ahead to an own goal, right? And then we come back and we score early in the second half. And everyone neutral thinks, right, this is Leeds now. They'll score 2, 3. But no, our last shot of the season wins us the title. If you took that into a script meeting, they'd say it's unbelievable. I'm sorry. We need to rework this.
It's not,
but it happened. It actually happened.
Nothing will ever touch Arsenal at Anfield. Was it Michael Thomas who scored the 2 goals, and it was a straight shootout between the two teams to win the title, and Arsenal needed to win 2-0, and they did it with the last kick of the season. Right? Nothing is ever quite going to match that.
Aguero was pretty good.
Aguero,
yeah, that as well. But I mean, in terms of it being a straight shootout between the two teams on the night, and then Aguero probably, slipstreams that are very, very close second. I think this is probably the closest analog of that we're ever going to get.
Yeah,
to win the title so we were already up, so there's a certain amount of jeopardy.
We can't ignore that winning the title in the second division, it is different to winning the title.
Absolutely. But you can only play the hand you dealt, can't you?
Of course. Tell that to 200,000 people yesterday. I agree with
250,000 people.
12 million people.
No, 12 billion.
I'll tell you what, just on the numbers again, didn't it just make you think, fucking hell, we basically have unlimited potential here. We are huge. Leeds is a massive, massive place. And look at all these people.
There would have been loads of people out of town, abroad, who couldn't have made it for that as well. Although I did see some, bumped into loads of people yesterday who were so nice, and hello to everybody. Bumped into some lads down at Ellen Road who'd flown in from Belfast just to be here.
Wow.
Just, and they're just one example of loads of people who must have just come up, got trains, flown in.
Top of Albion Street, do you remember who we met? They'd flown in from Perth, Australia.
Yeah, just for the parade.
For the parade.
17 hours on a flight.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it just, for years, the club just got smaller and smaller, didn't it, for people who lived through going to games under Bates and under Cellino, where there was just a creeping shittification of Leeds. It was like, we're going to shut the East Upper because no one wants to come. We're going to shut the South Stand. We're going to sort of move ticket blocks around. It's more expensive now because fewer people are coming. Weirdly, was kind of almost one way Bates was justifying it at certain points. There was a driving down of Leeds United's size, wasn't there, for so many years?
100%. Not to mention a massive fracture between the club and the city, because when Bates was here, the fucking council didn't want anything to do with him.
No, because I nearly said something libelous.
He's still alive.
He is.
Let's hope for that next Monday.
A man who has had some businesses which have struggled, and some people have lost some money in the past.
Yeah, which does happen sometimes in business.
It does.
Yeah, but it's
He was a clinically poor owner of us.
Yes,
and
fine.
So the divorce between the city, the fan base, the club, the players, the fans said the fans. So I think that's all the parties I could possibly imagine.
Yeah,
but do you know what I mean? There was so much fracture in there.
Yeah,
and he sought to divide the fan base as well.
Yeah,
and any football club that's going to get anywhere needs to be united behind something.
Yeah,
it needs a common goal, a common driver, doesn't it? And we got it in Bielsa, and I think we've seen it all sort of just come together perfectly at the end of this season.
I really hope Morate was on that bus yesterday, just going, wow. Like, can we harness this? Can we keep this going? Is there more momentum to be had? Get your checkbook out.
I hope it opened his eyes.
I do.
And and it was nice to see him. You see the little clip that's doing the rounds of him say, this was fucking harder than you think.
Yeah.
Felt like he broke character. I sometimes feel like when the cameras are on Morate, he sometimes carries himself like with the energy of like Mark Zuckerberg or someone like that, a little bit awkward with it. But it was nice to see him just out in the wild yesterday, having a good time with everybody.
He should have had his shirt off, really.
You think?
I think that would have helped everyone.
Yeah, revealed his Leeds United tattoo across his chest.
And these people are suits, and they don't necessarily revel in the limelight. And I suppose you don't really want them to, because we've been there before. We've seen what happened. But it was nice just to see him, just to see the facade crack a little bit, and just to acknowledge that it's perhaps they feel like they deserve more credit. For what the last couple of years has been like, how hard it's been, financially making things work or whatever. in this stupid division that we're exiting now. We've exited, sorry.
If they're still pitching for more money to come into the club, though, got a great promo video there.
And for players as well.
You know, just show everyone a bit of that and be like, look, this is what the new stadium's going to look like. This is how many people can go to it. This is what it all means to people. Come on.
Yep.
Come on.
Graham Smith tweeted yesterday, like, any new signing, prospective new signing, show him videos of that yesterday. And if you're a player looking at all of that, you think, I'll have a little bit of that fucking pie. Yes, please.
Yeah.
Unless you go into Real Betis.
Unless you're going to Real Betis.
That's one of the things Ampadu did.
Yeah.
Kind of, well, I say let slip. He was bellowing it into a microphone on top of a bus, wasn't he? Yeah. So that was one bit of transfer news we discovered yesterday. Although later in the evening, through various, I can't remember what it was, people going live on social media and stuff as well, weren't there? It was saying,
I've got the quotes, mate, if you want them.
Have you? He was saying,
I think it was...
Pass me the thing.
No, it was signed a ting, Junior Firpo. It was ting.
Right,
signed a ting, Junior Firpo. And then he came on and went, Parag, pass me the ting.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
If it's not signed, he might.
Yeah. I mean, look, whichever way it goes, whatever.
Probably on the phone to his lawyer saying, I signed something, but I was
I was
intoxicated at the time. I'd like it to be scrubbed from the record, please. I've made promises. I've bought a house.
Look, I've signed 2 things.
But, you know, whatever Junior Firpo wants to do now, I wish him well.
Yeah. If this is the end, it's been ace, hasn't it, in the end? I mean, what a redemption arc for him.
Unbelievable. And we'll be singing his song forever, I imagine.
Yeah.
Well, certainly until we've all forgotten that he played and we got new heroes. But what a tune and what a redemption arc and what a season he's had. He's been brilliant this season.
Yeah.
We genuinely missed him, didn't we, at the weekend? You could really tell the difference it made.
Lack of overlaps.
Yeah, it was. We need to actually replace him, don't we?
Yeah.
It's not something I ever thought I'd say.
But to be honest, you know what I've really, really liked about this? We're a club that is really, really, I think we're weighed down by our past. I think it's also our strongest asset. It's what's given us this manic, feral fan base, shithouse fan base, which I fucking love, by the way. And you see just so much of that in evidence in the wake of all this, when we can be completely unbearable about just how great it is to be a Leeds fan, because it comes around every now and again. It does weigh us down completely and utterly. When Howard Wilkinson came in 1988, took the photos of all the Revy era down just because we need to write a new history. Completely does. It bears heavy on us. I think that's why the shirt is so heavy. But just for a couple of weeks, we've been allowed to live in the moment. And I think we've all, because we know there's a struggle that comes next. We know the Premier League's going to be a struggle. It's hard. We're letting ourselves in for a fight. But the alternative is we stay here and we sell everybody and we don't get the stadium and we're stuck like this forever.
And looking at it yesterday, there's not a single reason we shouldn't establish ourselves, not just in the Premier League, as a top 5 team at some point.
Yesterday wasn't.
There's enough there, isn't there?
It shouldn't be the end of something. I know in a way, symbolically, it probably does feel like it is to a certain extent. It should be the end of something, but also a springboard into something new. I don't know about you. It felt to me like this was the start of something as well.
Yeah. That we're not, without being, rude to Ipswich, for example.
No, I do.
But we're not Ipswich. We're not Burnley. We should have aims to be much higher than that. The population is there. The city size is there. The fan base is there. We know that the last couple of seasons have shown, even in the second division, we can sell every ticket for every game. Away following will always be sold out.
Yeah.
Like, when was the Leeds away game not sold out? You're going back years and years, probably to a point at which, Port Vale gave us 14,000 tickets or something. And we maybe only sold 12, something like that. But, the following is absolutely rock solid. And I think it was properly established under Bielsa. It set a new low mark, didn't it, for attendance and stuff, did Bielsa? Because for years, the potential low attendance was about 16,000. Under Bielsa, it raised the ceiling of that to, sold out, essentially. It'd been full ever since Bielsa, hasn't it?
Goes back to what I said when we had Larry Nance Jr. on and accidentally stumbled across something quite profound. I didn't really mean to, but, it's all about hope. It's all about hope. It's the currency of football. If you haven't got hope, then you've got nothing. Have you? There's just no point. There's no point to any of it. You got to believe that there's a better day further down the road. Because every now and again, you get a better day. You get the 2 weeks like we've had, which have been amazing. And so we know we can do it. We know we can do it. Every now and again, we deliver it.
It is few and far between, though, isn't it?
It is.
It's made us work for it over the years.
It is, but the whole Bielsa thing was about getting the monkey off your back, and we did that, and then we went up but fucked it up because we didn't attack the Premier League in the right way. It was probably never sustainable in the long term without massive investment and recycling of the squad. It just feels like, there's a very real danger we'll go down next season, but I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? We've had this day, we've had a great time. We just know it's hard because the dice are loaded against you when you go up because of how financial fair play works. But we've got capable people there now. We just need to keep being sensible.
We reserve the right to change that opinion.
But it's fine being nice to people now. It's the day after the Champions title parade, mate.
Yeah.
Love those guys. Love all those suits.
Why have we not signed a goalkeeper? We'll fast forward to that.
It's not the time for that, is it? Yeah. Just keep enjoying this because we've got the right to. Because if we can't enjoy this now and still live in it for as long as possible, what is the point? It's about hope, and hope has delivered us this. And it's been fucking mint. And I've enjoyed every minute of the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Me too.
So thank you, Leeds United.
It's weird watching it all back and stuff last night because I called it a day about 20 past 6. I think
AM.
Trains. No, sadly PM. I took a lot of cans with me. I knew it was time.
You were very efficient.
I knew it was time to call it a day. But yeah, watching stuff back, you're like seeing the players on Greek Street and stuff. Like, I kind of wish I was still there.
I did, yeah.
And then you're seeing them back at because I also timelines were getting mixed up as well. So I was like, Ethan Ampadu seems to be out 3 different places there because I was seeing clips coming in of all the different.
I think what happened is the buses went back to the pavilion and they had an after party in the pavilion.
Oh, and then they went back out again.
And then I think, because that's when they were singing on each other's shoulders or on tables, wasn't it? When they did Unwritten as well, when they sang that. And then I think they then stayed there for a bit and then went back into town. So it was Katie O'Brien's on Greek Street. They were, which funnily enough, when I was talking about coming out of DJ retirement, that's the place that offered me the Friday nights there. Wish I'd kind of taken them now. Can I do the Monday gig?
Yeah, but I was seeing it all and I was like, I kind of...
Yeah, me too.
I wasn't ready to... I wanted to get every last drop out of it. Yeah. And I feel like I maybe got about 90% of it, which is maybe good enough.
I had exactly the same thought, because I tapped out relatively early and I didn't drink yesterday, but I just got a train home and just sort of took the dog out for a walk, just carried on. I was watching stuff on YouTube while I was walking the dog, watching all the clips and stuff. And I later on then I went, love to have been there. I thought, no, actually you don't. That's a terrible idea. You're not young enough anymore. I think I got just the right amount of nectar out of the peach. Yeah,
it's hard, isn't it? I was kind of jealous of it. Yeah. I can't deny it. And like just showing.
But what would you have done? You'd have been a very drunk man, feeling queasy in the streets. You'd have enjoyed singing with them for 5 minutes because that's the clip that made it onto socials.
Yeah, I know.
And then you'd have been in a world of pain.
Then I'd have been sick in a train station, and no one needs that.
I was watching these clips rolling in, and I didn't want to be there. Genuinely didn't want to be there. There's something about having a glorious distance between me and the players. I like it when I'm in the stands. I loved it when I was in the streets yesterday shouting up to the bus. And if I'd have been in this Irish bar on Greek Street, I don't think I think I'd have been stood at the back just kind of observing like it was a football game again. I like the hero status that we put on these players. I wanted that distance. I loved the videos coming in. I was living vicariously through the videos. But if I could have clicked my fingers and teleported there, I'd have said, "No, I'm all right."
Yeah.
There's a skill in knowing when you've had enough in there as well. Just being like, "Nah, been good this."
Yeah.
It's been good.
We need to address if you're on YouTube, you'll have seen this and you'll be wondering what it's doing on the table. If not on the audio version, we have a souvenir. The elephant in the room, the bottle on the table. So for the benefit of anybody who is listening rather than watching, Dean is holding it up if you are on the video version. That is a signed bottle of Sky Bet EFL Champions champagne that the players had on the pitch at Plymouth, and a very, very kind member of the Leeds United backroom team who listens to this show, you know who you are, thank you so much, had it signed by all the players in silver pen, and kept it and got in touch, got my number off Brynlaw and gave me a ring yesterday. I got some missed calls off this strange number. Rang it, managed to get through to me because the phone networks went full fucking Millennium 1999 bullshit, didn't they?
Yeah, I didn't get messages for about 5 hours yesterday. And then all of a sudden everything was coming through.
Yeah. But then as I made my way down to the station, just about to go home, got a phone call to this random number. person said, it's so from Leeds United. Got a souvenir for you. I've had it on the bus, but we're back at Ellen Road now. Do you want it? So I got the train home back to Bradford, and then jumped straight in the car, drove through to Ellen Road, and collected that. A bottle of, it's empty, sadly, but a great souvenir, a bottle of signed Champions champagne, which we will keep here as part of the studio furniture forever. And speaking of which, we probably need to replace some of the artwork in here.
We do.
It's time. I think it's the time to get the photo of Ampadu being showered at Plymouth in there.
Or we just get the one of him leaning back off the bus. Just have that.
Gurning.
I'd be amazed if there is, because we've got time to plug it. We've got a big Champions end of season special, haven't we? If you've been keeping an eye on the merch, you may notice we've flipped designs a little bit on both the Peacocks thing and on the promotion special. They've both become Champions specials. But I'd be amazed if a bit of Ampadu coverage doesn't slip into that. But he's on the cover of it, isn't he? Holding up the trophy. So.
Yeah. Brilliant. Yeah, so if you want to grab the merch, and please do buy it, because Michael's absolutely swamped by it at the minute, aren't you? You sent a message to our group chat like last night. Like, was it 900 new orders?
Something like that.
Last night. This was like 11 p.m. And I said, come on, you can go into work now. You've got an hour before the building alarm comes on. Let's get it done.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them are for the special, so I don't have to do anything with some of those straight away. But yeah, if you have ordered stuff, thank you for your patience, because there is a constant stream of stuff coming in and out of the office on a daily basis as we're trying to fulfill orders. Yeah,
the stuff that was on back order, when's that coming in? So the white Peacock stuff,
that's going to be in this week and out this week for the most part. And if you've ordered something with the promotion mag, that's not going to be for another few weeks yet, because obviously that we didn't know exactly what was happening with that until quite recently. So that's still a few weeks away. And if you've ordered that, whatever else you've ordered with it will arrive at the same time.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've sold loads of shirts, loads of mags.
And honestly, thank you, because it allows us to do this.
It really does.
Yeah. Keeps the whole thing trundling forward, doesn't it? So
Dean's jacket, that's still available.
Yes. That's another thing. Like, so what we're going to do for the next few weeks? Well, we've got the anniversary of the Paris final coming up in about 3 weeks' time. So we're going to chat a little bit about that, when we became not just champions of the Football League, but champions of Europe.
Indeed.
As we still are, forever and in perpetuity. So yeah, the jacket that we produced, the tribute jacket there. The
shirts are nearly all gone.
Really?
Yes.
Right, okay.
Some sizes may have already gone.
Oh, all right.
But yeah, jackets left.
And thank you for your support. Everything you need is at thesquareball.net. And right, so what we've got coming this week? Haven't we got a plan, have we still?
Heroes and villains?
Are we doing that now?
Heroes now.
Ethan Ampadu.
Next. Yeah, propaganda. We do need to do propaganda at some point. I've started getting some clips together. It's been a bit hectic, as you will be aware, in terms of parades. And generally what's happened is the game's on like the weekend, and then I spend Monday and Tuesday putting propaganda together, and we do it on Wednesday. But it's already Tuesday. And
you were drinking yesterday.
I was out yesterday, and then I've been doing merch so far today. And my kids' school's shut as well, which is great.
Right.
They've been sent home, so I need to probably go and check they haven't set fire to the place.
Right.
So that's ruined today.
Right.
But we'll get propaganda out at some point. Don't you worry. On the plus side, there's no new stuff coming out, is there? We don't got any more games to worry about.
No.
So
do you know why that is?
Because we've
gone up as fucking champions.
Yeah, it's all done.
That's why it's over.
It's all done.
We've done that. So that's super.
I think the Premier League's still going, but
not asked about that, are we, for a bit?
Also, I was just thinking, if you want to ride this Leeds United wave through the summer as well, you could come see a play at the Playhouse.
Right.
It's called Through It All Together, written by Chris O'Connor, and I'm in it.
Right. So who are you playing then with your beard and spectacles?
Can you guess? I'm playing Victor Orta.
Do your Spanish accent? Is it going to be racist?
It's not cooked yet.
Right. It's still in the oven.
It's a little bit Manuel from Fawlty Towers at this moment in time, but it'll get there.
Excellent. And we should say thanks to Bruce from the Tuk Tuk Club for supporting us this season as well, because the Gaetano Berardi Hero of the Week award is sponsored by the tuktukclub.com. TSB 15% discount. Tuk Tuk Adventures in Northern Thailand. And you can just go there and chat to Bruce about Leeds United, because we are the greatest football team in all the land.
Could you take a little...
And all the people you'll see there will have been at the parade, obviously.
Well, I'm going to say...
Everybody, the whole world.
Could you take a little trophy and get like 3 of those tuk-tuks just to go around Northern Thailand, pretending that it's a continuation of the parade?
That'd be nice.
I'll get in touch with Bruce. Open top tuk-tuks.
I mean, they're open-sided anyway, aren't they?
Yeah, so just adapt.
So it's not far off.
Yeah. One little side point. So, you know how we thought that Joel Perou's goal at Plymouth was onside? It turns out the angle behind the goal shows that it wasn't. There was a touch by Jayden Bogle.
That's altered footage.
You think so?
Yeah.
Is it AI?
Football League of trying to make themselves not look corrupt.
Well, you say that, but I want to nominate Jayden Bogle for Hero of the Week for that touch.
Okay, for delaying it, and then we got to celebrate in the last minute instead.
That, and also, if Joel Peru had scored 20 goals, we would have owed Swansea another £1 million. Is
that right?
And he finished on 19.
Oh, is that right?
That's correct. So he's put another £1 million into the budget for next season. So well done. That's what he was thinking about when Jayden Bogle got that touch. I'm going to stop Peru scoring here.
What?
Bogle has been going to Michael's School of Thrift. Yep. He's like, if I touch this, we're saving a few quid here.
Yeah.
So he's been getting your emails.
We're going to score anyway, but it's not going to be you.
Yeah. He's been getting your emails, mate. It's good.
Yeah. Very good. So I didn't know that.
Look how chuffed he is.
Sorry, Swansea.
So sorry to the liner. Sorry, Swansea, but well done, Jayden Bogle.
It's like a better version of when we stopped playing Mirko Antonucci because he was scoring too many goals. But isn't there an incentive there? Because you want him to score. Yeah. No, not anymore. Just drop him.
Yeah, we want him to assist, maybe. But
we wanted him to score, but now the season's going nowhere, so we'd rather we just didn't have to pay him. Yeah, that's how Leeds United does run for a time.
So
don't play the player who will score goals because it'll cost us some money.
Yeah.
Instead, let's just finish 15th.
So as the party sort of tapers out now and we return back to normal civilian life, I'm still not ready for it. For it, but I like it. But I like the fact that the sun is out. Leeds United. I'm still riding this wave of euphoria and joy. Sun is out. It's beautiful, but we do get to sort of just gradually. It's going to simmer down. It's going to taper down just nice and gradually. And before you know it, we'll be thinking about next season, but not right now. However, is it right that the players are supposed to be going off to Vegas this week?
Is that right?
I mean, imagine that off the back of the last sort of 3 or 4 days and the last 2 weeks.
I reckon Tanaka will go, nah, I'm all right.
I think a no phones policy is best there.
Yeah.
I feel like we've seen what they can do in the last couple of weeks.
A no phones and a no Sam Road on policy.
Oh, God, yeah. He might tag along. Yeah, but I wish him well.
I'm going to predict right now.
Do we know when they're going?
It's supposed to be potentially, I think, I did a rumour it was like tomorrow, Wednesday.
I'm going to say you want a day in bed after that, probably, don't you? You don't want to, the last thing you want to do.
So making me think about
getting on a plane with a hangover is dreadful.
Yeah, but hangovers of your 20s, they're done, aren't they? It's done. It'll be done by now. Tuesday lunchtime.
That was a pretty epic session yesterday, by the way.
I once had a very bad hangover on the flight back from America, and I remember thinking I was going to shit my trousers on the bus back to the terminal.
Was it coming out of one end or the other?
I was very much like, they start
the chills,
the sweat's kind of pouring off you, and you're like, oh, God. And I was in my early 20s then, so no, these things can happen at any age.
I'm going to make a prediction, though.
I was fine, by the way. To end the story.
Thank God.
I'm going to make a prediction, right? You've obviously seen the film, the movie The Hangover, and there's a saying, what goes on in Vegas stays in Vegas. Except I predict that Largi Ramazani is going to come back owning a tiger.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Caught up with it in customs.
Yeah, that boy knows how to live. He knows how to live, and he's going to go to Vegas. He's going to get a tiger.
Yeah.
Just stood there in border control at Heathrow with a Bengal tiger on a leash. Anything to declare? No.
Fire Beast.
Fire Beast. Oh, Fire Beast mug's available on the website.
Fire Beast, yeah.
And he's staying, but we can do that another day.
Yeah, we can.
We can.
We didn't do a villain of the week. Do we have one?
We don't have one, do we?
I don't think so.
Can I nominate Eddie?
Trains people.
Can I nominate Eddie Gray? And I'll tell you for why.
Making you cry.
For making me cry.
I had a lump in the throat seeing him there.
I did not expect Eddie Gray to be perched on the side of that third bus. I could cry now thinking about it. He looked so chuffed. He looked in his absolute element. What a moment for that man as well.
Yeah. I've heard your proposition, but it's rejected. I'm just letting you know about it.
I just wanted to say his name and
because it's the Ken Bates villain of the week. I'm not having those two men associated in the same sentence.
Yeah. Paul Reaney was there too. Yeah, it was great to look up and see him there. You're like, go on.
Yeah.
Go on, lads.
And as well...
And we saw him in Plymouth as well, didn't we? Which was great.
Another little thing I've realised, I took a video, it's like a 6-minute video. I hate people being stuck behind their phones for memorable events, but for this I'll make an exception because I want to be able to watch it over and over and over again because we were dead close to the buses, weren't we? I took a 6-minute video of all 3 buses crawling past us on Ball Lane. And on the third bus was Tony DiRigo.
Yeah.
Our new friend.
I'm a new friend.
From the West Stand. And me and you were, Tony! 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 And he caught our eye.
Yeah.
And he went, yay!
Nice.
Beautiful.
Amazing.
So I'm going to see if I can clip that up out of the 6-minute video and we'll stick it on socials. But, can we run it back?
The time, we're down to 18 seconds on this video, by the way, just to warn you.
Oh, better end then, isn't it? Say goodbye, boys and girls.
Bye.
And then, see you later.
The Square Ball Podcast.